What if I told you that the path to greatness isn't handed to you, it's earned? These 7 spiritual tests separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, forging the chosen ones through trials of truth, faith, and surrender. Stay with me as we unveil the ultimate journey of awakening. The first test is perhaps the most fundamental and challenging, confronting the truth of who you are. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not the kind that reflects your physical appearance, but one that shows your soul, stripped bare of all the identities, titles, and masks you've built over time. Most of us spend our lives defining ourselves through external markers, our careers, our relationships, our possessions. These become the scaffolding of who we think we are. But when life pulls that scaffolding away, when circumstances force you to confront the raw, unfiltered truth of yourself, what do you see? For many, this moment feels like staring into an abyss. It's a moment of terror and vulnerability, where the illusions we've clung to for years dissolve. But for the chosen ones, this confrontation is a catalyst. They don't look away, no matter how painful it feels. Instead, they dive deeper into the question, who am I really? They peel back the layers, uncovering truths they've long ignored or denied. This process is not about destruction, but revelation. It's about seeing the essence of your being, what drives you, what scares you, and what connects you to the greater whole. Facing this test means daring to meet yourself, and for those who pass, it becomes the foundation of everything that follows. The second test is one that many fear to their core: isolation. We live in a world constantly buzzing with distractions. Social media notifications, the chatter of friends and family, the endless to-do lists of work and life. For some, these distractions are a comfort, a way to avoid facing themselves. But the chosen ones are called to step away from all of it, to embrace silence and solitude. Isolation isn't just about being physically alone, it's about facing your own mind and heart without interference. In that silence, you are confronted with your deepest fears, your unfulfilled desires, and the thoughts you've been too busy to address. For many, this is excruciating because silence forces you to listen. And when you listen, you begin to hear a voice that has been drowned out by the noise, the voice of your inner self, the part of you that knows your truth. Most people avoid this test because they are afraid of what they might discover. But the chosen ones understand that this is where clarity begins. They sit with the discomfort, they make peace with the silence, and in doing so, they find a sense of self that no external validation can provide. Isolation becomes their sanctuary, their workshop, where they forge the strength and resilience to face the next test. And that next test is one of the hardest for most people to endure: letting go. We all carry so much: grudges from the past, unfulfilled expectations, disappointments, and even the weight of our own dreams. These attachments, while seemingly harmless, become burdens that hold us back. Letting go is not an act of surrendering to defeat. It's an act of choosing freedom. It means releasing your grip on the things you cannot control and trusting that life knows better than you do. This test is not a one-time event. It's a process, a continual practice of asking yourself, can I let this go? It might be a toxic relationship, a long-held belief, or even an idea of how your life should look. And just when you think you've mastered it, life throws something else at you, something even harder to release. The chosen ones don't shy away from this challenge. They understand that clinging to the past only robs them of the present and the future. They trust that by letting go, they make space for new possibilities, for growth, and for the unexpected blessings that life has in store. But letting go is nothing compared to what comes next: the dark night of the soul. This is not just a test, it's a crucible, a period of intense inner turmoil where everything you thought you knew crumbles before your eyes. It feels like the universe is pulling you apart, stripping you of your relationships, your career, your sense of purpose. You're left questioning everything. Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Will I ever make it through? For most people, this darkness feels unbearable. It's tempting to give up, to lose hope, to sink into despair. But the chosen ones know that the dark night of the soul is not a punishment. It's a purification. It's a necessary phase of evolution, a moment where everything false is burned away so that the truth can emerge. The chosen ones move forward, even when they can't see the path ahead. They trust that the darkness is temporary, that it's shaping them into something stronger, more authentic, and more aligned with their higher purpose. During this period, another test emerges, the test of faith. Faith here doesn't mean subscribing to a religion or dogma. It means believing in yourself, in the universe, in the unseen forces that guide your journey. When everything seems to be falling apart, faith is what keeps you going. It's what allows you to take the next step, even when the path is shrouded in darkness. Faith is not about ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging the pain, feeling it fully, and still choosing to believe that there is a reason for it. The chosen ones hold on to this belief, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. They trust that the universe is not working against them but for them, shaping them in ways they can't yet understand. This unwavering faith becomes their anchor, their light in the dark. But just as you think you found solid ground, life throws the ultimate test, surrender. This is where everything you thought you controlled is stripped away. As humans, we love to plan, to organize, to shape our lives according to our desires. But the truth is, control is an illusion. Life is far bigger and more mysterious than our limited minds can comprehend. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of resistance. It means trusting the flow of life, even when it takes you in directions you never anticipated. The chosen ones learn to release their grip on the steering wheel, to stop fighting against the current, and instead allow themselves to be carried by it. This kind of surrender requires immense courage because it asks you to trust in the unknown. It asks you to believe that even when things don't make sense, they are happening exactly as they should. Imagine swimming in a river. If you fight the current, you exhaust yourself and get nowhere. But if you surrender to it, you are carried effortlessly to where you need to go. The chosen ones understand this. They stop clinging to their plans, their expectations, and even their identities. They trust that by surrendering, they are aligning themselves with a force far greater than themselves, a force that knows exactly what they need, exactly when they need it. Finally, after enduring all these trials, you reach the seventh and final test, awakening. This is not a test of action, but of realization. It's the moment when the veil is lifted and you see the world and yourself as they truly are. You understand that you are not separate from life, you are life. Every struggle, every test, every moment of pain and doubt was designed to lead you to this truth. Awakening is not about discovering something new. It's about remembering what has always been there. You realize that your purpose is not something you have to chase or find. It's something you are already living. Your very existence is an expression of life's purpose. The chosen ones awaken to this truth, and in doing so, they are freed from the limitations of fear, doubt, and ego. This awakening is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new one, a life lived in harmony with the flow of the universe. The chosen ones no longer feel the need to control or resist. They move through life with a sense of purpose, joy, and freedom, creating and experiencing from a place of alignment and truth.